All right, let's dive into one of the biggest, most personal questions we can ever ask ourselves. How do you live a good life? I mean, philosophers and thinkers have been wrestling with this one for centuries, right? So today, we're going to boil all of that incredible wisdom down into a clear, practical framework you can actually use.
So, yeah, let's start right there. What does that even mean, a good life? Is it about being happy all the time? Is it about success or finding some deep meaning? You know, it's going to be different for everyone, but it turns out there are these powerful common threads that pop up again and again, no matter where you look.
To figure this out, we've basically pulled together wisdom from all over the place. We're talking modern psychology, ancient philosophy, and just good old-fashioned life advice. We hunted for those big ideas that everyone seems to agree on, the stuff that shows up time and time again, and we distilled it all into a guide that feels both timeless and, actually helpful.
What we found is that all this wisdom points to three main areas. We're calling them the three pillars of a good life. First up is your inner compass. Second, building meaningful connections. And third, embracing the daily journey. So let's break each one down.
Okay, Pillar 1, your inner compass. This is all about the internal work. Because here's the thing, a good life isn't something you just stumble upon. It's something you have to build. And like any great project, you got to start with a blueprint, you have to understand what a good life actually means to you.
And the starting line, according to pretty much everyone, is figuring out your personal values. Just think of these as your own private rule book, the principles that guide you. Is it creativity? Is it family? Justice? Honesty? When you know your core values, you suddenly have this compass for making decisions that actually feel right and authentic to you.
Once you've got your values straight, you can start to find your purpose. And listen, this doesn't have to be some single epic calling. Purpose can be found in all kinds of places, in work that you actually enjoy, in a creative hobby, in giving your time to a cause you believe in. Or honestly, just in the really important roles you play for your family and your community. Now, navigating all of this, it takes a really balanced mindset. Think about it like this scale we see here. On one side, you've got acceptance and self-compassion. That's about having the grace to admit what you can't change, and, maybe most importantly, being kind to yourself when things go wrong. And on the other side, a growth mindset. That drive to see challenges not as roadblocks, but as chances to learn and get stronger. A good life is all about finding that sweet spot right in the middle. All right, let's move on to our second pillar, because this is where we start to look outward. We're talking about meaningful connections, because let's be real, no one lives a good life completely alone. It's fundamentally built on our relationships with other people.
And this isn't just some feel-good idea. This is backed by some serious science. Get this, the famous Harvard Grant study, which has been following the same group of people for over 80 years, found that the single biggest predictor of long-term happiness and health wasn't money, it wasn't career success, it wasn't fame, it was, hands down, the quality of our relationships. That's huge.
So how do we actually do that? Well, the advice is pretty consistent. It's about consciously choosing to invest your time and energy in people. It means practicing empathy, really listening to understand. It's about showing kindness just for the sake of it. And it's also about contributing to your community, creating that powerful sense of belonging.
And all of that brings us to our final pillar, the daily journey. This is where those big ideas about values and relationships actually become real. It's all about the small, consistent habits that literally shape the quality of your day-to-day life. The absolute bedrock of this pillar is your well-being. I'm not kidding. Every single source we looked at hammered this point home. You just can't build a good life if you're running on empty. This means taking care of your physical health, your mental health, making sleep a priority, and finding ways to manage stress. Seriously, it's non-negotiable. Okay, so on top of that foundation, there are a few mental habits that are absolutely crucial. First one, gratitude. And this is more than just saying thank you. It's the active practice of noticing the good stuff that's already in your life. It's so powerful because it literally retrains your brain to fight its natural tendency to focus on problems. It shifts your whole perspective. Next up, a real commitment to growth. This just means staying curious about the world and about yourself. Whether it's learning a new skill, reading something interesting, or just trying new things, a growth mindset keeps your world from shrinking. It's what helps you adapt and stay truly engaged with life. Now we have the art of balance. And look, this isn't about some perfect 50-50 split every single day. It's about finding a rhythm that works for you. It's that dance between doing meaningful work and getting real rest, between connecting with people and getting that quiet time you need alone. A good life is rarely found at the extremes. It's found in that dynamic sweet spot. And finally, mindfulness.
So much of our stress comes from worrying about the past or freaking out about the future. Mindfulness is the simple, though not always easy, act of just being right here, right now. It's the tool that lets you tune out the noise in your head and actually experience your life as it's happening.
Okay, so let's put it all together now. How do these three pillars work together to create a good life? The most important thing to get is that this isn't a checklist you complete. It's an interconnected, ongoing process.
So, here's a simple way to think about it. Your inner compass, that's your why. It's all about you. Your meaningful connections, that's your who. It's about others. And your daily journey, well, that's your how. It's all about action. It's the magic that happens when your why, your who, and your how all start working together.
And that really brings us to the biggest takeaway of all. As one of our sources put it so perfectly, a good life is an ongoing process, not a destination. You don't just arrive at the good life one day and you're done. You live it, day by day, through your choices, your relationships, and your actions.
So I'll leave you with this question to think about. Looking at these three pillars, your inner compass, your connections, and your daily journey, what's just one small, totally manageable step you can take today to move a little closer to the life you really want to live?